Yo, this is Spice Productions. Thanks for tuning in. So I want to show you how to make some chords, some melodies in Pro Tools, specifically using Pro Tools MIDI. Alright, I got a VST, the Terrell N6. This is actually a free plugin. This is a free VST. You can find it online. It's an amazing machine. You can make a lot of cool sounds with this. And there's just a nice handful of presets. Bunch of stuff you can play with. And basically, I'm going to show you how to make chords, just like a lot of producers do online. They like to show you how they do this. They make their chords using scales in FL Studio. Specifically, I mean, I'm sure you could do this with any DAW, but I see a lot of tutorials with FL Studio on how to make chords, how to make melodies using scales. And a lot of them pretty much use a cheat code. They'll bring in a scale and just play the notes and click in the notes into that scale. Well, you could do the same thing in Pro Tools. So this is what I do. I have a bunch of preset MIDI files already stacked, well, not stacked, stored. So what we're going to do, we're going to import one of them. So I'm going to import some MIDI. I'm going to go to my MIDI files. I have scales already saved. I can just find them. I labeled my my folder Spice Scale. So here are the scales that I've created. Now I got these scales online. Unfortunately, these don't come in Pro Tools. You have to make them, but once you make them once and you just keep building. So every time I would make a beat, I'd create a scale and then save it and just created a file. So here's a bunch. So I'm gonna go with let's see, I don't know, E major. Let's see, E Aeolian. I see that a lot with Metro Boomin, and a lot of tutorials saying that he likes to use that scale. So I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to just bring it up top to the MIDI track where I have my VST on. All right. And you see those lines, that blue, right? That's the scale. And that's what you see a lot on the other programs. That's going to be your cheat code. All right, there it is. So just like they do in FL Studio, you could just highlight this. You got your scales all the way across the key, the piano roll. This is your Aeolian scale. So anytime you click a note in these boxes that hits these lines, you'll never be off key. And you could just sit here and click in melodies all day long. You don't have to know how to play. You really don't have to. Don't have to know theory. You should know theory, but you don't have to know theory. Alright, so I'm going to play you something just quite randomly. I'm going to go to just the default preset on this Terrell. Let me just throw on the chorus. And I'm just going to click away. I'm going to loop. We're at 131 BPM. Alright, so we're in grid mode and we're rocking an 8th note. So you can bring it down to 16th note on this grid. You can go to 32nd note. 30 seconds will help you, and 64 will help you with those, rolling your hi-hats. So let me just start clicking away. I'm just going to make something right. So you could drag out your notes just like you can in FL Studio. If you want to just layer some stuff on it, let's keep going and see what happens. I'm looping 4 bars. Actually, no, I'm only looping 1 bar. Let's loop a couple more. Let's drag this over. Let me just do 2 bars. There you go. So you got your melody. You can now sample yourself, chop it up, play it back, just throw some drums over that loop. You can pitch it up, pitch it down. At that point, I mean, your melody's right there. That could be the heart of your beat. Let me just make that bigger for you. And all the MIDI's right there. So now you could change the sound on your VST, follow the same MIDI pattern, layer it, maybe mess around with the notes and add a little counter melody to it. But that's it. The point of the video is to show you how easy this is. You know, you don't need FL Studio. You have Pro Tools, use Pro Tools. The MIDI's there. It's very easy to use. Get those cheat codes in there. If you like some of these scales that I have, you saw I have a bunch. I'll go back. I have a decent amount. I'm probably just going to keep building and adding on to this. But, you know, this might be a little hard to see on the camera. But that's it. If you're actually interested in some of these scales and you don't want to go digging on the internet for some and you just want me to send you some of the ones that I have saved, just drop me a comment. Send me an email. Actually, just drop a comment. We'll be in touch. You can send me an email. If you don't want to put it down in the comments, I understand. But there's a way you can get in touch with me. Just drop a comment. Say, hey, I'm interested in some scales. And we'll have a side conversation on where I can email you these scales. You know, just make sure you like the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And hope this helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Reach out. I'm here to help, man. All right? Let's build. Let's make this music. Peace. Spice Productions.